And we are live. Welcome. Maya Youssef here. I am very excited to come live today with you to share with you 3 tips that will make your performance sound more authentic. This is very important if you are worried that your performance is sounding westernized. And also if you are like coming from a Western background into playing Middle Eastern music. So I can't see very well. It's kind of dark in here. So let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. There you go. Hello everyone. Welcome. First of all, I am going to share this video in my Facebook group, Learn Qanun Online. Qanun is spelled Qanun. So bear with me 1 second as I share this in the group, and let me know where you're tuning in from, if you're watching live or replay, #replay. So 1 second, I'm just gonna find that. Learn Qanun Online, and if you're looking in Arabic you can find تعلم القانون باللغة العربية. Hello Muhammad. Okay, done. Perfect. So, first of all, let me know if you found yesterday's video helpful. I spoke about, the 3 top myths that are related to the Qanun, and I hope that I busted them. Let me know if I did. So, if you are, new to Arabic music and you're sort of trying to make your playing more authentic, I know from experience, the first thing you would go to is you would go to this scale. Because this is like the stereotypical soundscape of Arabic music, yeah? Hello, welcome Gary. So, first of all, the first thing you need to know is that instead of going up and down the scales and struggling so hard to sound Arabic, the first thing you would need to do is understand your maqam. So in a previous live I spoke about the importance of I'm just keeping an eye on the comments, if there are any comments. So in the previous live I spoke about why the maqam is very important. Now the maqam is basically the modal system, and it's basically the different notes, 7 notes, which have different flavors and different intervals between them. And I like to simplify things, so you don't need to go into the exact theory. All you need to do is understand it by ear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to that previous live where you can improve your understanding of the maqam. Now, why is that so important? Is because you need to understand how the maqam progresses, yeah? Every maqam, this is not the problem with people who are coming from a Western background into Arabic music, is they're applying rules of Western music into Arabic music. And that doesn't work. Why? Because every maqam, every scale has its own unique character, its own unique way of behavior. It's, there's you need to know where to put what, and where to start and where to end. So, if say we started with the Hijaz, which is the easiest and the most immediate thing to go to, because everyone, this sounds Arabic. Instead of just going, listen to pieces composed on maqam Hijaz, for instance. I'm just taking the maqam as an example, and see how the composer is laying out the progression of the scale, yeah? So that is the number 1 thing, yeah? So know your maqam. And you don't need to know it in a complex way, know it by ear. Yesterday I said that one of the myths about Qanun is that you need to be people think that you need to be a master of music theory before you can learn the instrument. That is not true. You need to understand it by ear. Yeah, you need to hear it and feel it and embody it before you can project it on an instrument. So, welcome everyone. Welcome Mazen. Welcome Ragad. Welcome Hussam. Ustaz Hussam. Welcome Nu'ma. So that's the first thing. Know your maqam before you go into composing and writing and trying to make your music sound Arabic, because if you are not grounded in that knowledge, you're just gonna go up and down the scales all the time and it's not gonna sound authentic. Number two, which is something, this is a quite a big shift from Western music. You know, like if I put sheets of, say, Vivaldi's Winter Concerto in front of me, and if I sort of like add embellishments and stuff to it, people would consider that as sacrilege. It's like not acceptable. But that, on the other hand, if you are performing Arabic music, it is expected of you to add of yourself to the music. Like, for instance, if I am learning Sama'i Bayati, this is one of the most famous pieces in Arabic classical music by Ibrahim Al-Aryan. So if I'm looking at the sheets, it would sound like this. But it is not expected of me to just play it. This is just the skeleton. It's not expected of me just to play the core notes. It is expected of me to, as an Arabic musician, to add embellishments. For instance, you see? So the small details in between the notes is what makes this authentic. So whenever you are learning a new piece of music from the Arabic tradition, add embellishments. And think of it that you are almost as a co-creator. Obviously do not tamper with the core melody, but in between the notes you need to insert details that will enrich it and give it, like, take it from 3D to 5D, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah? So if you're playing, and so the second thing is that do not take a Western approach to playing Arabic music. Actually think of yourself as, you know, as a co-creator without tampering with the melody, and add details, add embellishments that will give it that richness and that extra dimension. Yeah? I'm just looking at the... being a classical musician, I struggle with adding ornaments. Could you make a helpful video on that, please? Yes, of course, I will. My pleasure. Thank you for asking. So I will address that next week. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know when I do that. I know that this is a struggle. So and there are so many ways to do that, but I mean, obviously at this stage, I don't think so much about the technique anymore. It's the phase beyond the technique. But when you start, you can actually, this is something that you can do now, Dominica, is that you can basically, if you have written music, yeah, you can look down and actually plan it, you know? You can say, okay, here I can add a glissando, here I can add a triolet. You know, it's just small details. The devil is in the details, right? So you can start with that, but I will address that in a more detailed video. So thank you for that question. So And that brings us to the last way that you can make your performance more authentic. That is by injecting idiomatic phrases into your performance. Now, it might be that I didn't read anything about this, but I did not find anyone speaking about this. And even though this is so important, and this goes back again into the problem of the traditional ways of teaching. Again, I'm not attacking anything or anyone. I am just lovingly addressing these issues which were like massive obstacles for me when I was in the beginning of this journey. So again, that brings us, you see how everything is sort of correlated. If you don't know your maqam, then and say if you know how to, so like for instance, the vibrato, yeah, which is this lovely sound. So you cannot do a vibrato on G in mode bayati, in maqam bayati. It doesn't sound right. So, but if you do it on the F, it's like honey, it's like, oh, melting honey. So a lot of these rules are unspoken. And it is my job to make them spoken. So so you need to know your maqam, going back to point 1, and knowing these idiomatic phrases and injecting them into different parts of your performance. And that will instantly give it that Arabic feel, instead of you just keep going up and down the scale. That doesn't sound very nice. It's important for you to learn it, the scale, but it's not performance really. You need to take that into a different level. Yeah. So today I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So 3 tips to basically help make your performance more authentic. And they're sort of tied together, but they're at the same time they're sort of separate issues. Number 1, know your maqam. I'm gonna leave the link to my past live where I gave you a simple way to start, digesting maqams in a more easy way. And again, you don't have to know music theory, you don't have to read music. It's basically using your ears to embody it and to understand it in a better way. Okay? Number 1, know your maqam. Number 2 is understand that you're a co-creator. So whenever you approach Arabic music, then you are expected to add details, to add embellishments. And that brings us to number 3, which is injecting idiomatic phrases and also embellishments actually into your performance. And with these 3 components combined, that will basically create a beautiful, authentic sounding performance. So again, I'm gonna end this with playing the second taslim, just for you to see how the taslim from the Sama'i Bayat al-Adiyan, just for you to have a feel, yeah? And if you have any questions, do let me know. And I'd love to hear from you. So I'm just gonna play you that the Sama'i plain and the Sama'i with added details, yeah? Not the whole thing, just a small excerpt. So this is in there's a sheet in front of me, I'll just basically read the notes. now I'll add details. So do you see the difference between, actually in the first time when I played it, I couldn't help it, I just added a small embellishment because it's so natural, it comes so natural to me. So I hope today's, I'm just looking if there are any questions. No, that's fantastic. So let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Tomorrow I will speak about the one big problem in traditional ways of teaching Qanun and Arabic music, and how can you overcome it. So I will be live on the same time here, so tune in, and I wish you all a beautiful day. Bye bye.